Breaking news, Cowboys fans. Trevon Diggs lands on the PUP list, CeeDee Lamb threatens a holdout, and Stephen Jones drops a bombshell about Dak's future. The drama is heating up in Dallas, and we've got all the details. Stay tuned, because this is one video you can't afford to miss. We've got updates on Trevon Diggs' surprising placement on the PUP list, the ongoing CeeDee Lamb contract situation that's got everyone talking, and some interesting comments from Stephen Jones about Dak Prescott's future with the team. So buckle up, because we're about to break it all down. Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a diehard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. All right, let's start with the bombshell that dropped earlier today. Star cornerback Trevon Diggs has been placed on the physically unable to perform PUP list as the Cowboys open training camp. This news came as a shock to many fans and analysts, as there were no indications of any serious injuries during the off-season program. So, what does this mean for Diggs and the Cowboys? Well, first, let's break down what the PUP list actually is. When a player is placed on the PUP list at the start of training camp, it means they're not cleared to practice due to a football-related injury. The good news is that players on the PUP list still count towards the 90-man roster limit, and they can be activated at any time during training camp. However, if Diggs remains on the PUP list when final roster cuts are made, he would be required to miss at least the first 4 games of the regular season. That's obviously not an ideal scenario for a player of Diggs' caliber and importance to the defense. Now, the Cowboys haven't released many details about the nature of Diggs' injury, which has led to a lot of speculation. Some sources close to the team have suggested it might be related to a minor shoulder issue that Diggs was dealing with towards the end of last season. Others have hinted at a potential soft tissue injury that the team is being cautious with. Regardless of the specific injury, this move raises some serious questions about the Cowboys' secondary heading into the 2023 season. Diggs has been a cornerstone of the defense since being drafted in 2020, leading the league with 11 interceptions in 2021 and earning Pro Bowl selections in each of the last 2 seasons. His absence, even if it's just for training camp, will undoubtedly impact the defense's preparation for the upcoming season. It also puts added pressure on other members of the secondary, like Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis, to step up and fill the void. The silver lining here is that this could provide valuable first-team reps for some of the younger corners on the roster. Keep an eye on rookie 5th-round pick Eric Scott Jr. out of Southern Miss, as well as second-year player Darren Bland, who showed flashes of potential last season. We'll be closely monitoring Diggs' status throughout training camp, and will bring you updates as soon as we have them. The hope is that this is just a precautionary measure and that we'll see Diggs back on the field sooner rather than later. Now, let's shift our focus to another developing situation that's got Cowboys fans on edge: the contract negotiations with star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Reports have surfaced that Lamb is considering holding out of training camp if a new deal isn't reached soon. Lamb, entering his 4th NFL season, has quickly established himself as one of the league's premier young receivers. He's coming off a career year in 2022, where he hauled in 107 receptions for 1,359 yards and 9 touchdowns. Those are elite numbers, folks, and Lamb is looking to be compensated accordingly. The Cowboys exercised Lamb's 5th-year option earlier this offseason, which would keep him under contract through the 2024 season. However, it's clear that both Lamb and his representatives are pushing for a long-term extension sooner rather than later. This situation bears some similarities to the recent contract disputes we've seen with other top receivers around the league. Just look at the massive deals signed by Tyreek Hill, Davante Adams, and A.J. Brown over the past year. The wide receiver market has exploded, and Lamb undoubtedly sees himself in that upper echelon of players. From Lamb's perspective, striking a deal now makes sense. He's coming off his best season as a pro and has consistently improved each year he's been in the league. There's also the ever-present risk of injury to consider. Securing a long-term deal with significant guaranteed money provides financial security that his current rookie contract doesn't offer. On the flip side, the Cowboys have to consider their overall salary cap situation. They've got several key players they need to extend or re-sign in the coming years, including Micah Parsons, who will be eligible for an extension after this season. Balancing these financial commitments while keeping a competitive roster is no easy task for the front office. It's worth noting that holdouts can be tricky situations for both players and teams. While they can sometimes lead to quicker resolutions, they can also create tension and potentially impact a player's preparation for the season. The new CBA has also made holdouts more costly for players, with increased fines for missed practices and preseason games. As it stands now, Lamb hasn't officially announced a holdout, but the threat is looming. Sources close to the negotiations suggest that there's still a significant gap between what Lamb is asking for and what the Cowboys are currently offering. The next few days will be crucial in determining whether Lamb reports to camp on time or if this situation escalates. One thing's for sure, the Cowboys' offense is significantly better with Lamb on the field. He's become Dak Prescott's go-to target and has the potential to be a cornerstone of this franchise for years to come. Let's hope both sides can find common ground and get a deal done sooner rather than later. All right, Cowboys fans, let's round out today's news with some interesting comments from Executive Vice President Stephen Jones regarding quarterback Dak Prescott's contract situation. In a recent interview with local media, Jones was asked about the possibility of extending Prescott's contract, which currently runs through the 2024 season. His response has got a lot of people talking. Here's what he had to say. "Dak is our guy, no question about it. We believe in him 100%, and we're always open to discussions about keeping our core players long-term. That being said, we have to be smart about how we structure these deals to ensure we can field a competitive team year in and year out." Now, let's break this down a bit. On the surface, it seems like a pretty standard response from a team executive. Jones is expressing confidence in Prescott while also hinting at the financial considerations that come into play with any major contract. But there are a few things to unpack here. First, the timing of these comments is interesting. With Prescott entering the third year of his 4-year, $160 million contract, we're approaching the point where teams typically start considering extensions for franchise quarterbacks. The fact that Jones is publicly addressing this now suggests it's very much on the team's radar. Second, Jones's emphasis on being smart about structuring deals is noteworthy. Prescott's current contract has been a point of contention for some fans and analysts, particularly given the team's playoff struggles in recent years. His cap hit for the 2023 season is set to be $49.13 million, which is a significant chunk of the team's total cap space. This brings us to the broader conversation about Prescott's performance and his long-term future with the Cowboys. There's no denying that Dak has put up impressive numbers since becoming the starter in 2016. He's a two-time Pro Bowler who's thrown for over 4,000 yards in 3 of the last 4 seasons, excluding his injury-shortened 2020 campaign. And there you have it, Cowboys Nation. We've covered a lot of ground today, from Trevon Diggs' surprising placement on the PUP list to CeeDee Lamb's potential holdout and the ongoing discussions about Dak Prescott's future with the team. These are the kinds of storylines that can define a season before it even begins. How the Cowboys navigate these challenges will go a long way in determining their success in 2023 and beyond. What do you think about these developments? Are you worried about Diggs' injury? Do you think the Cowboys should pay up for CeeDee Lamb? And what about Doc? Is he the long-term answer at quarterback for America's team? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the Star Report for more Cowboys news and analysis.